Hey, this is KTP Inspirational Notes. I'm KTP Kerone the poet, and I do spoken word poems and spoken word songs. I'm a spoken word artist, and today we'll be reviewing one of my poems entitled "The Persian Princess." Stay tuned. I'm back. This is KTP Inspirational Notes. KTP here. Today we'll be doing a review of one of my pieces entitled "The Persian Princess." This piece was written a couple of years ago, and it's actually a true story. And I have background information to share with you about this piece. But before I go into that, what I'll do, I'll recite the piece, and then I'll review the piece by breaking it down line by line to give you some information about what I'm saying. Um, at the point at the point that I wrote this piece, it was actually one of the best pieces I've ever written. Um, it's one of the crowd favorites at my performances because this piece encompasses two different writing strategies. Number one, it evokes emotion. Number two, it stimulates the mind of the reader or the listener. Lyrically stimulates the mind of the reader or the listener. Alright. So now I'll go into reciting the piece. It goes like this. The Persian Princess. It was amazing, as if you fell out of the sky. Awesomely stunning, you caught my eye. At a point where I was bored and wondering, sitting comfortably and pondering. But now my senses are stimulated to ecstasy as I stared at your image endlessly. This moment was like nectar mentally, which left me thinking about destiny. Inevitably, I want to make an offer, gems from my most treasured coffer. But I'm not talking about Derek or dollar. I'm talking about love and honor to keep you in a state of satisfaction way beyond initial attraction, to create a euphoric reaction, and that is just a fraction. Yeah, so that was the Persian Princess, you know what I mean? And now I'll go into the review of the poem where I break it down line by line. The Persian Princess, that's the title. This female is actually a Persian. You know what I mean? A young lady, she's also a poet. And she is Muslim, by the way. Yeah, I'm not gonna go any further into that, but she's a Muslim Persian, and she's also a poet. The first line goes like this. It was amazing, as if you fell out of the sky. So it's like she fell from the sky. Like she fell from the sky. Falling from the sky is something dramatic. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to convey that message to say that seeing her was as dramatic as if she fell from the sky. Awesomely stunning, you caught my eye. So seeing her was that stunning. It was as if she fell from the sky, and I'm kind of saying like, how beautiful is she? She's very beautiful. It was stunning, awesomely stunning. It wasn't even stunning, it was awesomely stunning. So I'm kind of magnifying how beautiful is she, and I'm conveying that message to the mind of the reader, or to the mind of the listener, because this is also recorded. After those lines, then I move on to say, at a point where I was bored and wondering. Then the next line is, sitting comfortably and pondering. So that's like the first four line, the stanza. I was there bored, wondering, comfortable and pondering. And then I saw this female that was so beautiful, as if she fell from the sky, and she's awesomely stunning. Moving on to the next stanza. After I said, at a point where I was bored and wondering, sitting comfortable and pondering, now I'm saying, but now my senses are stimulated to ecstasy. Senses: sight, hearing, taste, smell, and feeling. I was bored, but now seeing her, my senses are stimulated to ecstasy as I stared at her image endlessly. What I'm trying to convey is that I was stunned. I was excited. Seeing her was stimulating to my eyes, and I had to stare at her image endlessly. I was in awe of her beauty. Now, I mean, this moment was nectar mentally. Nectar is something from a plant that bees extract from a plant, and bees uses it to make honey. So I'm saying this moment was like nectar mentally. So mentally it was like nectar. It was sweet, which left me thinking about destiny, which is saying that it was destiny for me to see this female. I was there bored, and then this female appeared, and I'm thinking about destiny. I'm like, wow, it was destined for me to see her. Moving on to the next line. Inevitably, I want to make an offer. So this is me. This is moving on to another step in this scene. I'm not just looking at her. I'm not just admiring her. No, I want to make an offer. Gems from my most treasured coffer. So I'm saying she's the princess. She's the Persian princess. I want to make an offer. She deserves gems from my most treasured coffer. Back in the days when there were kingdoms, kings and queens and rulers and principalities, back in those days, they used to keep the treasures in coffers. Because Persian is an ancient civilization. Persia is now Iran. But she says she's a Persian. So going along with that topic to say she's Persian, I'm thinking about ancient days. So I'm saying treasured coffer. That's the link. Right? Inevitably, I want to make an offer. Gems from my most treasured coffer. So at this point, the reader or the listener is thinking, hey, what are the gems, or what is the treasure that I'm going to offer her? So the poem goes on to say, inevitably, I want to make an offer. Gems from my most treasured coffer. But I'm not talking about Derek or dollar. No, Derek, I had to do some research to write this poem. Derek is the ancient days money that they used to use in Persia. We use dollar, US, pound, yen in modern times, but in the ancient times, the Persians used to use darik. But I'm not talking about darik or dollar. I'm talking about love and honor. So that technique was intended to bring a twist to the story, because I kind of misled the listener to saying gems from my most treasured coffer. So they're thinking about diamonds, they're thinking about gold, they're thinking about these things that I want to offer this Persian princess. But I'm saying I'm not talking about Derek or dollar. I'm talking about love and honor, which is a twist, and it does make sense because vanity is not all. Love and honor is the real treasures. But a lot of people wouldn't expect that because I said treasured, coffer. So it comes as a surprise, and it stimulates the mind of the reader. It's fun, it's catchy. You know what I mean? That was the third stanza. Then I go into the final stanza to say, to keep you in a state of satisfaction. A lot of females like to think about a state of satisfaction. To keep you in a state of satisfaction way beyond initial attraction. When you meet someone for the first time, it's initial attraction. So I want to keep you in a state of satisfaction way beyond initial attraction. So this won't be a wonderful experience in the beginning. It will continue to be a wonderful experience. To keep you in a state of satisfaction way beyond the initial attraction. To create a euphoric reaction. Now, euphoria is something that you get when you're really happy. Or some people may get euphoria from drugs, from smoking, or other type of drugs. I'm not promoting the use of drugs. I'm just trying to educate those who don't know the meaning of euphoria. It's some type of pleasurable feeling you get from happiness or some other means. To create a euphoric reaction, and the final line is, and that is just a fraction. So all the stuff that I'm talking about, that I started out by talking about what I saw, how I felt, then I put into action into what I want to do and what I can offer, and all of that is just a fraction of what I have to offer. So that line leaves the ending of that line leaves the reader thinking that, hey, wow, if all of this is only a fraction, I can just imagine what else is there. It opens up the mind of the reader for them to speculate and for them to use their imagination. So that was the Persian Princess. And now I'll go into the background information. So I met this young lady on Facebook. She's a poet. And there was a Facebook poetry group, and I saw her and I was like, whoa, this young lady is beautiful. And I tried to talk to her, but her response was a typical response of how a pretty young lady would actually be like, yeah, I'm hearing you, you know. So I was thinking that, hey, I really need to get her attention. What I did was I wrote this poem, and I took one of her beautiful pictures and I placed this poem in the picture and I sent it to her. And when I did that, the ball game changed. The conversation was not what it was before. It was a total different conversation. We became friends. I got her phone number. We used to WhatsApp every day. I'm Jamaican. People in Jamaica don't message people like people from other countries message. So I was open up to a different type of conversation, a new type of conversation, a new way out to have conversation. We spoke almost every day, and we became great friends. And that picture is actually a picture of her. I'm gonna put the picture of her at the end of this video. And this song is recorded. This is recorded in a track on YouTube, so I'm gonna place the link of this track for you to listen to. So you're gonna check out the picture to see her, and you're gonna get the link under YouTube and in the description, so you can view the track on YouTube. So that was the Persian Princess, and I'm gonna end it right there. Check out the track.